A circle full of dogs. We put in the work. Let's go out there with a bunch of crazy dogs.
What's happening, people? Yeah, right? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football. 52 weeks of the year, which is absolutely outstanding, especially as the new season basically has arrived. So we're ready to dive into 1,000 different things. So thanks for hanging out with us. It's Monday. It's the 19th. Another episode of Giants Rush. Plenty of things to talk about. And I'm going to bring in Chris. Spartan Mike. Who knows where Spartan Mike is? But we got Chris, and that's all we need. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, sure, Craig. Yeah, sure. Hey, Craig. Hey, everybody.
That's all we need is me and you, dude. That's all we need.
I think you say that to everybody that comes on and hosts with you.
No. You can hold your weight here because we don't know where Spartan Mike is, but it's okay. We don't need Spartan Mike. But what we do need is we need to talk about a couple things. Like we got major roster moves. And look, hey, we're here every Monday. So we're.
And by the way, Craig, I'm not to interrupt you. When we talk about the roster moves and the IR, I got some good information to just let people know what changed this year with some 2024 rules with IR and a little bit of Ryder Anderson, what I think might be going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, right. Trying to squeeze him through a little bit of waivers there, probably. So. Chris, we're here, like I said, 52 weeks of the year. We're talking Giants football. We always have either, some good feedback from the crew. We've got, personalities. We got players on, right? And every year it's a different theme. It's a different story, except for one theme. There's always one theme. For 6 years, it's been the same thing. You know what that theme is. I know what that theme is. The theme is Daniel Jones. It is always something that is polarizing. Everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to chop it up. So we're going to get into that, right? Because the fan base is completely off the rails with a ton of fake outrage. And it's like, I don't even know where to go with it right now because I actually, Chris, I'm gonna cruise through some roster stuff first because a lot of moves, and feel free to jump in. And appreciate. I see Jay, I see Bill, Darius, Jake, I see Daniel. Thanks for all jumping in, guys. And of course, if you guys haven't seen, if I put Chris in the background and me on the background, new logo, right? Gotta love the new logo. Got a lot of nice feedback from that. And I have no idea, Jay, if he's really going out with Kay Adams. I'd have to say no. That would be my gut feeling, especially with all the heat that guy takes. I don't know if Kay Adams wants to lynch her wagon to Daniel Jones. So, all right. Again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Hey, thanks, Jay. Yeah, the new sweatshirts, and if in case you guys haven't checked out the website in a while, NY Giants Rush. 2 things are going on there right now. The store is up. Well, the store is always up. But I have all the new Rush gear in there with all the new Lady Liberty logos. There's the old stuff here and the stuff that Chris has got on, or the stuff that's behind Chris's head. All that stuff is there. But we rolled out the new logo last week. So there's all new stuff there for you guys. What's up, Mark? And I decided to name, Chris. I decided to name our entire new apparel line after our fans.
Saw that.
Yeah. So we've got like there's like a Mark and Mark shirt. There's a real cold hoodie. There's a Harnett hoodie special. There's a New York Crush Liberty tee. There's a two-toe tank in there somewhere.
Perfect for two-toe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys have not had a chance, check out NY Giants Rush, hit the team store. Check out the swag. I named it after, and there's more to come. So if you don't have anything named after yourself yet, doesn't mean you won't have something named after you soon. But I did definitely did, and it's on Instagram, by the way. If you have Instagram, what's up, Cold? Thank you, Mark, for the compliment. Yeah, I do love making the logos. It's fun. Sometimes you guys buy them, sometimes you don't. Either way, we have a blast with it. You know what I mean? Like, so I did feel like I owed you guys a little bit of homage. So I named off after the new line of apparel after you. All right, let's dig in. First one, let's start with the bigger one that kind of grabbed my attention. Ryder Anderson was cut due to injury settlement, I guess, so to speak. Chris, what's the behind the scenes action here with Ryder Anderson? Because it did look like he was going to have a role.
He was running with the first team quite a bit, Yeah. So I look at Yadni Kajus, one of the backup tackles. Giants also put him on IR. But when you think about both players, you would think, well, Yadni Kajus would be the one to be waived or cut. Well, remember, in preseason, before game 1, anybody that gets IR'd is lost for the season. So Kajus is under the property of the Giants, lost for the season. He'll be back next year in training camp or mini camp. So what's interesting about Anderson, if they were to IR him, obviously he'd be lost. So it makes you think with a lower body injury, two things I'm thinking may be happening here is that he'll go clear through waivers. Giants will get through their cuts. When the Giants get that initial 53, one of the new rules for 2024 is you're allowed to add 2 players on the day of cuts on the initial 53. So as soon as the Giants have the initial 53, it's interesting to think that maybe Ryder Anderson comes back on the 53 and then they IR him. IR, I think, is a minimum of 3, or I think it's 3 games you have to miss on the short-term IR, and then they gain the roster spot, and then they could add somebody. So, if a guy that's running with the first team, you would think he would be saved on the team for next year, but yet they let him go, and they're, I guess, pretty confident that nobody will grab him because he's injured.
Because of the lower body injury.
Yeah, so it makes you think he would be back at some point, either practice squad or initial 53, and then IR. But just keep in mind, 2 players can be added to the IR on the day of cutdown, which is the 27th.
All right. And there's no, if he really truly is hurt and it's not like a Victor Cruz wink and a nod thing, like you don't think that pup was something that could have saved him too, right? Because then he wouldn't be able to come back all for the rest of the year.
Yeah, correct. And I don't know if does the pup rules apply after Wednesday when training camp's actually over. So I'm not sure if he can go on the pup. It would be then. I think it then turns to IR after, or it continues to be just IR and then short-term IR after week 1.
Okay. Moving on. Big news today out of Giants camp with Andrew Thomas restructuring a deal, which frees up about 18 million cap space, which we'll get to it in a little bit, but it does definitely kind of ask you, like, why are they looking for money? Mm-hmm. Right? Because what did they do? They say, correct me if I'm wrong, was it 4 million? Is that what they saved?
They saved 3.34 million.
Okay. So in the grand scheme of things, Chris, man, I ask you, what really is 3.3 million in the grand scheme of things?
It's a couple players, right? It's a couple players, or it could be one player. I mean, I originally thought maybe an Xavier Howard, maybe that's what they were doing, but I tend to think maybe they're going to add cut down day and use that money towards players on cut down day. Because remember, it's one day. Yep. Used to be, let's get to 60, whatever it was. And then it was down to, it was 80, then 60 something. Now it's one day on the 27th, all these players are cut. So it makes you think maybe they're just creating space because maybe the Giants will add 3 to 4 players after cuts.
And I'm just going to clarify that so everybody understands what we're talking about. So in the past, there was a period of time where players would get cut so they can get down to the roster number of 53. Now, all the players are specifically cut on the same day. I don't know how they actually do that. Okay. Like that's got to be an emotional day and a lot of behind the scenes work, but there's no more, in case you're not looking at the operations side. You could cut guys over a period of time, leading into your opening week. Well, no longer. The NFL changed that rule, and now the cuts all happen on one day. So you can see 10 guys getting cut all in one day. And then it comes into that other rule that Chris just told you about is that putting somebody back on, 2 players being put back on the roster, during that grace period. What's the grace period after they're cut? Is it 2 days, 1 day? What's the...
No, so it used to be after week 1, short-term IR begins. However, this year you're allowed to add 2 players
2 players
off your initial 53. After your initial 53 is set, right? You got that initial 53. Then once you claim that 53, then you could add 2 players from that 53 to short-term IR.
So let me ask you this, Chris. Does it seem like musical chairs? Why don't they just allow them to carry 55 guys? Like, so you don't have to cut. Like what are we really talking about here? It's like semantics. Like, why don't they just let them carry 55 guys?
Why don't they let 53 guys dress? Why 46, right? Or 47?
Yeah.
I agree. I don't understand. It's
just like mental math here. Like, 53, 52, but no, It's not really. It's really 55. It's like, what are they like? Is there someone in a room somewhere in the NFL office that makes this shit up? Because it's dumb. I mean,
especially,
it really is.
And they keep trying to increase games. So once we get to 18 games, I don't think they'll have a choice but to try and increase, the active roster.
And
they
it's
need to add a couple.
It's mind-numbing that we have to play these mental games on. I'm not cutting you. I am cutting you, but not really cutting you.
Wink, wink,
because tomorrow I'm going to bring you back. And if I'm a player, I'm like, whoa, why do we have to cut? Why can't it be 55 or 56? I don't know.
Yeah, Jason Penix, a big example of that, right? The Jets tried to stash him. Giants, saw him in joint practice and saw him in preseason game.
You mean Pinnock?
Pinnock, yeah, Jason Pinnock, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep moving. We saved a bunch of space. There's going to be some conversation there that I'll bring up later as we get through the show. Super cool, absolutely cool tweet that you sent out today is that in the world of beer, and because everyone here probably enjoys a cold one now and then, I mean, not everybody's a beer guy. I get it. But if you enjoy a cool adult beverage once in a while, I'll have you know that the Giants have the 5th most expensive beer at their stadium, not the number 1. Chris, now I know you know the answer, but did you know ahead of time who had the most expensive beer in the NFL?
I thought, because I ran this same search last year, and it would turned out to be the same team, the most expensive. But I wouldn't have guessed it last year.
So the Philadelphia Eagles, which we all absolutely despise, make me want to vomit on a daily basis, have the most expensive beer in the NFL. It comes in at $14.67 for one beer. Okay. The least expensive beer in the NFL is a tie between the Lions and the Falcons at $6.25. So it's double to get a beer in Philadelphia, which is outrageous. It really is. It's outrageous. All right. Keeping with that theme on what's outrageous is Jalen Mills got cut. That's probably not that outrageous, right? He couldn't get on the field, right? If you can't get on the field, I don't know what you expect to have happen, right? But I did think, Chris, that he was going to be able to play. Like I had a little something for Jalen Mills. Like, he looked good in conditioning and so forth. I thought maybe he might have something to tank.
Listen, you would have saw a great opportunity. They saw him bring Sutherland in, who was undrafted out of Penn State, to fill some, bodies. And you saw Javarius Owens, who really hasn't. He's done okay, but they're kind of running a little thin at the safety spot. So I think he would have had an opportunity.
I do too. Okay, on Friday they signed Jacob Johnson, which is a huge win for the New York Giants, actually getting a real fullback. 2019 to 2021 with the Pats, 22 to 23 with the Raiders. He played 13 games. He already made his presence felt this weekend. In case you guys didn't know, I think he was wearing number 84 or 86. So he didn't have a full back number on, but he laid the hammer on a couple guys, opening up some lanes for I think Gray and Singletary. He made a couple pops. So kudos to the Giants for bringing on Jacob Johnson, fullback. What else is on my list? They also on Friday signed Josh Kelly, running back out of LA, 5'11", 212 for played 17 games for the Chargers, 400 yards, 2 TDs. What do you make of Josh Kelly? Camp body, so to speak?
I think after you saw Tracy last week have the injury, it's and they didn't expect him back at practice, but I think camp body, rest some of the other guys. They had to fill holes on the roster, right? You're carrying 90. Dable likes to throw the ball. I think he had maybe 32 catches, which is pretty impressive for a part-time guy.
I was kind of surprised at that, actually, because just didn't strike me as a guy who'd be catching passes.
Right. It kind of fits the whole Dable, offensive mind that he likes to, get these running backs involved in the passing game. So, but, if he shows up next game, I don't foresee him making the roster, but you know what? It could be a practice squad player added after.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially you need the right amount of bodies for all this to work anyway. So,
hey, we know the injuries with the Giants, right, Craig? I mean, we see it every year. They're scratching in December for guys off the street. So let's fill that practice squad up with some depth if we can.
That's the biggest moves that I have. The Ryder Anderson restructuring Andrew Thomas's deal. Not sure why they did it now, and like I said, they're grabbing themselves $3.3 million. So there could be something in the works there. They signed Johnson, they signed Kelly, Jalen Mills cut. So those are like the big moves, right? Those are the big moves that happened. Anything that I missed offhand? Anything worth mentioning?
Well, today, a couple camp bodies. Undrafted defensive tackle Kyler Bowe was with the Saints in training camp. Undrafted free agent Trey Kaiser, inside linebacker.
Yep,
with Jacksonville both released. So, just filling in some spots. You're running thin with McFadden in the inside with his groin injury, so that could.
I haven't heard anything all day on his groin.
Well, the Giants had off today, so tomorrow I believe it's a late practice. It's a 12 noon practice versus 10 in training camp, and I'm sure we'll get a medical update, from Dable or somebody, whatever they give us before.
What was great for me was before he got hurt, he was he led the defense in tackles with 5 or 6 tackles, so he was having a pretty decent game against Texans. And like I said, I know he's a run stopper. We don't really want to see him in there on passing downs or at least we don't want to see him on a regular basis when you have Simmons there, where like Simmons is better in space and McFadden's better between the A and the B tackle.
Right. And with Deontay Johnson out and McFadden, I think we're in the joint practice on Wednesday. Remember, joint practice at Florham Park against the Jets. We're going to see a lot of Beavers. We're going to see a lot of this Matt Adams. We're going to see
Adams got hurt, by the way.
That's true. Yep, he's another one that's right. You're right. You're right.
And the interesting thing about Adams was he laid the hammer on some dude for Texas, and literally, I would say go back and watch the tape and look up the hit. He hit this cat so hard that he's not only stood him up, he stumbled backwards and out of bounds, by 5 yards. It was actually it wasn't like a thunderous hit, where everyone's like, ooh, but when you watch it and he just lays the hammer on him, the guy literally stands up, can't catch his balance, and literally stumbles and falls backward out of bounds. And then Adams comes up and you think, okay, that's a shoulder, that's a collarbone. He hurt his groin too.
It was a groin on him as well. Wow. And then you have Carter Coughlin, who hasn't played. He may be coming back. We'll see if he gets on the field. But yeah, they're running thin inside, to your point. And that's why they brought in this guy Kaiser.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like I said, I really wanted to see Carter Coughlin do something because he'd shown some flashes early on when they had him at defensive end. Since they moved him to linebacker, he hasn't been able to do squat. I almost feel like, can he? I know he's a little bit on the light side, right? He's even for an inside linebacker, I think he's only 238, maybe 232, 235. I don't know if he's got it, but I don't know. Maybe he could be a fast pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thought, right? I mean, him and special teams, and that's what Matthew Adams was really brought in for special teams. So, yeah, they're running thin at inside linebacker. It's going to be I think you're going to see somebody added on cuts at the inside.
Yeah, and I would have to think that McFadden to probably be back, in a week or two latest. There's nothing major, right?
2 weeks,
So
yeah, till the opener.
let's make fun of Spartan Mike for not being here. Thank everybody for Spartan. Like, hit him up on Twitter. Tell him thank you for showing up to the show. Hope everything's okay with him and the family. On a serious note,
Hope so. Yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. I've had it up to here today with the amount of talking heads and just people don't understand the game. I'm not saying I'm the brightest bulb in the batch, but I am saying that we all knew that Daniel Jones was the quarterback of this team. Like, the outrage, I'm like, oh, he's horrible, he's this, he's that. Like let's just, I don't want to monologue it here, but let's just say we know what Daniel Jones is.
Right.
We knew what to expect. Stop the fake outrage. Okay, like, he's the worst in the NFL. Was he not the worst in the NFL last year or the year before? I don't know. I mean, yeah, 2002, we had that nice season. But, like, we have struggled at the quarterback position. This is nothing new. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. I will say, I'm glad he threw that pick six right away, and he didn't do it at the end of the first half. That looks worse. To me, yeah, he's working out the rust. Stupid decision. He knows better. It's a preseason game. Now, game one, different story.
That's what I'm going to ask you, right? Because the outrage is if he's rusty, everybody's rusty, right? Then you go down the well of, no, the guy had knee surgery nine months ago, right? And then it's like, he's the worst quarterback ever, and Dan Orlovsky's going off on him, and all these guys are going crazy, right? Like, I did have today at lunchtime, I checked out two guys that I like to watch with a high level IQ level is the quarterback coach guy there. What's his name? Former NFL QB. He does a QB show now.
What, on ESPN?
No, it's on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube.
Oh my God, Mike Daniels.
Is it Daniels? Yeah, Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels, yes. I watched him today, and I watched this, a couple other guys today.
Yeah, he put some good stuff up on Twitter. Some of his
I watched Baldinger.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who's in the JT O'Sullivan. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he had a good one today. Yes, good call, Darius. Yep.
Yeah, great call, Darius. So listen, let's just why do we have to argue over this? Right?
Craig, you know what's crazy, man? It's a preseason game. Half of the people, we don't even watch this stuff, but we're glued to it. Saturday. This is, imagine the regular season if this shit goes on for, excuse my language, for 3 games. Oh my God. I don't know how we survive.
No, I'm gonna have to turn it off, Chris.
I know, man.
Because it's so bad. Let's just talk about nuts and bolts. I'll ask a question, you answer it with a nuts and bolts answer.
Yeah.
Did we know Daniel Jones was going to be the quarterback in 2024?
Did we know after draft night or before? What do you think? Yeah.
No, right now, after he got his knee hurt.
100%.
Yeah.
We know.
Did Daniel Jones have knee surgery 9 months ago?
100%, and he's playing.
Did we expect him to come out during the Texans game and look like Pat Mahomes?
No, absolutely not. If I could run thing, the pick six was there's Jones. That's the typical Jones throw, which people are right. That is the stupid brain fog, stupid move that we see Jones make. If he just threw a pick six like we did to Hyatt, the one over the top, and he didn't put it on he put it on a line, didn't put any air under it, like he did, we get over it. But the fact that it was a typical Jones, that's what we've always seen, is that stupid mental decision.
Yeah, I almost chalked it up to this. I said, okay, here's a guy coming back. He's probably a little bit nervous. Just forget it. I'm just so we know. Stop it, Craig. We've had 69. See, here's
we know.
This is the perfect example of the cluelessness. No, dude. I understand. You're missing the point, Cold. You're missing the point. He's not it. But guess what? You've known. We've all known. He was the quarterback for the last 6 months. We knew he was coming back, and we knew he wasn't going to be great. He's never going to be great. There's nothing to stop. I'm not defending him. All I'm saying is that like it is what it is. When they didn't get a new QB, Chris, when they decided not to get a quarterback, what did they want to do? What were the two things that this team set out to do? Two things.
When it wasn't a quarterback, it was receiver, offensive line.
Bang, done. Okay. We knew Jones wasn't going to be great. We knew Jones would be back. We're happy he's actually come back early, right?
Right.
He could be crapping his way through right now, right? Like, so I'm not doing the fake outrage bull crap that I hear. If this is typical Jones, he started off terrible and
he played well after that. He played well.
No, you're not nuts cold. I'm just saying that like you're not nuts. I don't think you're nuts. A couple of you guys are right on, but
you're right. He's had 6 years. The cold is spot on. But like you said, he is what he is. Let's just see how this progresses for the season. He played well after the pick six, which was terrible.
Like don't listen. Some of these people, not saying you cold, but some people haven't even watched the game.
Craig,
they're just running with the fact of what some moron is saying, on TV. Here's the thing: what I can tell you, people with high IQ, who I like to watch, all said, you know what? Let's talk about nuts and bolts. Stepped up in the pocket, great. Slid right to left, great. On a repaired knee, right? Had a great ball to Wan'Dale Robinson. Had a great ball to Neighbors. Had a great ball to Slayton. Like all the things you're looking for. And then what do these nitwits say? Well, it's against the second and third defensive back. Yeah, okay. And guess what? So is McLeod. Right? Think about this. The second and third receiver DBs start on another team. Right? If they get cut, they go start on another team. McLeod's been on 2 teams and he's our CB2. Like just because they're second and third team doesn't mean they can't play. Mm-hmm. You guys are off the rails all the time. Like what you're looking for is, can he throw with power on a surgically repaired knee? How was his accuracy? Pretty good. He threw back shoulder all game. Mm-hmm. And he came out and he sucked. You're right. You're right. Oh, you're right. Still, like, whatever, he gets panicky or whatever he does. Like, when you look at think about it. Let's call Dable out for a moment. The first play of the game was on Dable. Like, why? Everyone in their right mind knows you're going to throw the ball to Neighbors. Why are you throwing the Neighbors on the very first play on a little gadget, comeback play? Mm-hmm. Like, throw it to Bellinger, throw it to Hodgins, throw it somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, dude, just like, why throw it to Neighbors? The entire country knows you're going to throw it to Neighbors. Am I crazy for saying that? Did not everyone in the room know Neighbors was getting the ball? Mm-hmm. And then typical Jones stares him down the whole way.
It's a problem.
Oh, look at this guy.
Wow. There he is.
Twitter needs better layout formats so that when somebody says 8:45 and is completely referring to something else, I'm able to tell that. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, that was last night.
Yeah, it was last night, buddy. But that's okay. We still love you.
Thank you,
we're talking about.
Are you defending Daniel Jones yet?
No, we're not defending Daniel Jones. We're talking about your fake outrage and the fake outrage of all these sorry people who knew he was going to be the quarterback. They knew what to be expect. This is nothing different.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's the quarterback. And when we didn't get a quarterback, right, there was I'll say it again. Chris, what were the 2 goals when we didn't get a quarterback? What were the 2 goals?
Receiver and offensive line.
That was what was done. Like it doesn't matter. It does not matter. He's the quarterback. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's the quarterback. So what do? You made the line better, and you got a potential, Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Yeah,
that was the only goal. When you brought Daniel Jones back, like Cole said, he's still doing the same thing. Yup, he's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Right. What I can hang my hat on, which I want to have a fun season without all the fake outrage. The fake Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the league. Oh, well, I'm going to tell you that he's not the worst quarterback in the league. He's just not good.
Well, listen, all Giants fans can take a little, consolence in the fact that we saw on Hard Knocks, the Giants administration knows that they need to upgrade the quarterback, right? So you could take comfort that Shane and Dable do want a better quarterback, but they really weren't a great situation to take a quarterback this past year that they were comfortable with, right? So if that's the problem, just you could chill out on that note. I do get it though, because on Giants Twitter, there's a whole bell curve of views on Jones, right? And so people can pick and choose the ones they want to argue with. If people are like, he needs more time to prove himself. Remember, this is just fan stuff. So I think people are mistaking fans as views from inside the organization. So let's just keep it out there.
Yeah.
I understand the frustration when you see a tweet like Jones just needs more time to prove himself. It's like he already has proven himself. But remember,
that's not real.
The organization, from what fans are saying, the Giants organization is ready to move on from Jones, but if they're not feeling comfortable with the quarterback, they shouldn't force themselves, and they didn't.
Yes. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not defending him. I'm not sticking up for him.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, okay, look, we got the receiver. He's going to make the team better.
Right.
So is Burns, and so is Theo Johnson. And so, the team will be better because it has better talent, right? So what can I say? Again, the fake outrage is just, oh my God, it's over the top. Why are you outraged? He's exactly who we thought he was, right? Who says that? Dennis Green?
You are who we thought you were.
Yes.
Yeah, we are who they thought they were.
Yeah. These people need to grow up.
Yeah.
Right? All I say the same thing over and over. I want to have a fun season. It's going to be a better season. We got better talent. So what do I hang my hat on about yesterday? One, he looked terrible on those two throws. It was like, oh my God, this is wrong. But he fixed it. And I told him, I watched the tape second time. Chris watched the second time. If they lose to the Vikings, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah. Hey, we could just summarize it up like this. I couldn't agree more. That's the game. If they go out there and win, that is very pivotal to how the season's going to go. Are we going to be an over 800, 500 team or under 500 team? Are we even going to be on target?
If they're healthy, they should be. And there's again, it's JJ McCarthy's out, right? All those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Addison's hurt, right? They got Jordan Addison is hurt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yep. Is he?
So all I said about today was the fact. Just I watched Daniel. What's his name again? I just blanked out on his name again. Chase Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're all frozen up there, Spartan. That's a good face, by the way. Look at him frozen there. That's pretty funny. I need to take a picture of that.
He's got some deep thoughts right now. He's gonna.
Yeah, you got some deep thoughts. There he is. I got it. All right, he's back. And he's got a little beard going too. He's not clean shaven. He looks rough.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm gonna try to look like your son the most I can, Craig.
My son cannot grow any facial hair. Or you mean my personal son?
Athlete than I am. I know we can at least admit that, but
unless you mean my personal son, because yes, you can grow a little bit of that. Spartan. So
yeah,
here's what I saw. Chase Daniels had a good breakdown. Where's Bill? Bill Harnett was talking about the guy I was watching late last.
JT O'Sullivan I mentioned?
Yeah. Sullivan and that QB school stuff. And that was kind of what I thought in the beginning, right? Because it was all right, the footwork improved, right? Where he was getting into a quick drop and he was opening up his hips to where he wanted to throw the ball. And he had good ball placement, right? He moved up in the pocket well. There was good timing with his receivers, right? He wasn't throwing behind guys. He was deliberately throwing back shoulder. It was apparent he was throwing back shoulder on all these guys, right? So
and it makes you think on the Hyatt one, he wanted to throw. He just placed it in the wrong spot. The Hyatt was on such a line that I thought I don't think
Hyatt thought it was coming.
I don't think that was that bad of an interception. I don't think
No, he's talking about the pass where Hyatt caught it with one hand, but they called him out of bounds.
Oh no! I'm talking about what Spartan's saying. The interception where it was thrown on a line. He didn't really air it. But to me, I thought he wanted to do a back shoulder on that. He just put it on the inside, instead of the outside shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. So I was listen. The neighbor's throw was outstanding. The Slayton throw. Anyone who says it's not a good throw, go back and watch it. He's on the opposite hash, throwing across the field and drops it in a bucket.
To be honest with you, if the ball connects with the receiver, I don't want to hear about it.
If anything, Slate needs to man up and get in the dang end zone. He hit the ground like a ton of bricks.
You know, the narrative changes a little bit if Slayton gets in the end zone because it's like, wow, Jones threw a 50-yard touchdown pass. That's awesome. But because he didn't get in the end zone, the narrative doesn't change much. You know, it's like he still didn't throw a touchdown because they run those stats.
The team is going to be better because of Neighbors and Johnson and Burns.
Hey, how about other positive notes? I mean, the line clicking, and I'm sorry if I'm bringing up stuff you guys already talked about.
No, we haven't.
Well, no, we want to talk O-line. O-line, look, Spartan, you run with that. O-line, like you can see the stats online. I mean,
guys, I just knew Illuminar was going to be a difference maker. I mean, we are so fortunate that we got him at such a cheap deal. Not only is he a good player at whatever he's getting paid, $3 million, he's also like just a good team player. He's a good dude. He goes out there, he's talking and interacting with the fans on Giants Twitter. And he said from day one how passionate he is to be here. We haven't really had that many players like that before, and they don't have to be. They certainly don't have to be. But you know, he held his ground and did a good job in Las Vegas. I knew he was going to do a good job here. So I'm so glad we were able to take off with him. And by the way, JMS looked. I mean, I think just everybody looked terrific. Like they took a step forward, right? And that was against them. Texans defense, no joke.
And that was without Runyon. So Runyon didn't even play. So you had Stinian.
Right.
So,
and they picked up a ton of stunts, and I thought Slotman looked pretty decent.
Yep, I agree. Can I give you one area that I am a little concerned about? And Ron was on the show and he brought it up. I'm not even really worried about talent as much, which is a little controversial. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about the defensive back scheme. I'm just a little bit worried it's going to be a little bit too zony, and I don't really know defense that well, but I just remember like the Bill Sheridans of the world, the Betchers of the world. Anytime it just becomes a little bit, more, it appears to be a little bit more zone oriented. And we know that his defenses were kind of getting slashed a little bit in the secondary. Bowens were in Tennessee. I am just a little worried about that aspect of the game. I'd rather have a defense that could stop the pass and stop the run. And I know run stopping was an issue last year. And if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick pass. Obviously, it'd be great if we could just do both. You know, like Spag did.
I think when they're 100% healthy and you've got, I think, again, what you're seeing is preseason game one, right? When you have McFadden and you have Simmons and you have Okereke and Burns, like you're going to see a pass rush, right? So I don't know if they're going to have to cover as much as they are right now, right?
Yeah.
They're not.
Hey, by the way, they didn't get many sacks. I actually thought they all still did a good job as the front seven guys.
Yeah, I don't think you're seeing a lot of blitz packages. I think they're going straight at you with 4, right?
Fine by me. Listen, I love getting to the quarterback, but like I'd rather have guys that can just do it with the normal base like we have right now than like having to send 7 guys in or 6 guys in.
And like I said, you wind up having what, Chris? 4 different middle linebackers. Once McFadden went down, they were trying to figure out anybody. And like I said,
a couple of those guys got
kill McFadden because they don't like him or something. We struggled the minute he went down. They plugged in 4 different guys in there.
He's a good player. Again, you know, he's McFadden is one of those players that you need where they may not be a Pro Bowl. Certainly not now. He always could develop into becoming that, but you know, it might not be a Pro Bowler necessary, but he can definitely hunker down and do the job, and you don't really notice if he's not doing the job. You know, he does a good job. He does a fine job.
Well, I think in the end, Spartan, and that, not to come back to Jones thing, but my point is our DBs are like a lot of DBs in the league. So if Jones throws a ball up and beats a second round cornerback from Texas, like that guy gets cut and then he becomes a starter at Jacksonville. Like these guys are NFL cornerbacks. And because people were saying like, well, Jones looked good against seconds and thirds. Look, McLeod may be our CB2. And he's been cut by 2 teams. Like I can't just kill like, you know, a bunch of second string, third string cornerbacks because they go and start somewhere else. There might not be room for them to start on the Texans, but those guys do go and start somewhere else. So, you know, like to come full circle is I'm fine with what Jones, I'm fine with the way Jones cleaned it up and fixed it. I am concerned that, you know, there is going to be a hole. They cut Jalen Mills. You know, McLeod maybe CB2, definitely isn't the guy. So, you know, that CB2 is definitely a hole. Chris, like, I mean, Gilmore signed with who? The Vikings today?
Vikings, yes. Yes, yesterday. Yeah, yeah.
And I really wasn't high on Gilmore. What's your thoughts, Chris, on the DBs?
I'm a little concerned, and that's probably my biggest concern is Deion Banks. If I'm hoping he lives up to being that number one corner, but if he doesn't, it's going to be a trickle down effect on both sides, maybe. And you don't want to see with the depth, right? If Banks were to go down, now we're really in maybe a concerned spot with now bringing somebody in, backing up Banks, and on the other side, you're still questionable. So I do foresee the Giants adding someone, whether it's a veteran or some type of resume after the cuts, whether there's a team with some deep DBs where, remember, sometimes in other teams, it's not a case of, hey, this guy just can't make the team, he's no good. It's, we need to fill another roster spot. We have no choice but to let him go. So maybe that works out for the Giants where another team just has to, and they try to maybe hope they gets on a practice squad or something clear.
Chris, can I ask you something? Like, are you concerned more about talent at that position, or are you concerned more about scheme? I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I do, to your point, it reminds me a little bit of Patrick Graham. They'll come, teams come down the field a little bit. The guys are on the field a long time. We've seen by that third and fourth or that fourth quarter with Graham did a great job, but guys are a little gassed.
Yeah.
It's
great red zone defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So
we're always in the goddamn red zone.
But Ben don't break can wear you down.
That's right. So for this to work, we need the Giants need that pass rush to get to the quarterback. But yeah, Mike, it concerns me. The zone concerns me. So I'm hoping Bowen sees it like we do. If we're not getting there, then he dials up, some creative, packages to blitz the quarterback and send a Simmons or whatever he needs to do. But yeah, it does concern me. I don't want to see these guys gassed in the fourth quarter, and then it's.
So let me throw a name out at you too. There is a defensive back that is out there that the Giants are very familiar with by the name of Dory Jackson, and he was a former Titan. I mean, like maybe we're restructuring Andrew Thomas's deal because we're going to sign a Dory back, right? I'm looking it up now. He didn't.
The only interesting part, Bowen was there with Dory Jackson when they let him go, and Dory went to the Giants. They traded him, so
but we don't really know if that.
No,
I would hope not, right?
Yeah, I would hope not. I would hope not.
Listen, if the price is right, I always say, why not, right? I mean, if depth is a concern right now, then your best option is go with somebody that's familiar with the team. Is he what he used to be? Probably not, but I think he can go out there and still solidify the cornerback 2 position.
Would you rather have him or Cordell Flott? Right?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I hate to say it, but a Dory Jackson probably still comes in as the number 1. Like, you know what I mean? Because he plays the zone. You know what I mean?
Like Banks is there, right? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Jay makes a good point. Dory's probably league minimum, and after week 1, no of these contracts are guaranteed, so could be a guy after week 1.
And we made money today, right? We cleared up cap. And did you guys talk about that already? I'm sorry.
We did. Yeah.
I was in the drive-through when I realized we went live. Everybody, that's the kind of employees that Craig hires. I'm sorry, it's the millennial generation.
Well, a bunch of crybabies.
Right. My belly is full of delicious Culvers. I highly recommend.
Yes. My boy Paul. I gotta put Cole's comment up here. Your boy Paul says he isn't worried about Flop being too small. He says he plays stronger than he looks. Yeah, okay. Look, I love Paul. I do. He's good to us. He's a good dude. 175 pound DBs don't make it in the NFL. They just don't. Yeah. They can't. Like, even if you're tough, you break something. I mean, like you can't be a physical corner at 175 pounds.
The thing that's the thing that concerns me with the Shane Bowen defense is if you're playing zone, these cornerbacks have to be able to help out and run support. You talk about a Flott. I know he's a pretty good tackler, but you're talking about, like you said, 175 pound guy really helping out and run support, and that's one of the things in this defense. You got to be able. The corners got to be able to help on the run.
For the record, Dory Jackson's only 185 pounds, so it's not like they're that far apart. They're not big dudes.
And Crypto's saying that he might only go for $185.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nice. Well, whatever league minimum is, I think it's $550K. So I mean, I don't care if they sign him for 1 year, 2.5 million. Like, just solidify that, and that gives everybody a little breathing room. Would it not? Would you be pretty refreshed there, Craig, if that happened?
Heck yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to go out there and play.
Look,
we could play.
I just like to you're both right. Is definitely the cornerbacks are something to be worried about. So, like I said, I think it's odd timing. I said to Chris earlier, I think it's odd timing. I don't hate undersized guys. Listen. By the way, Wan'Dale Robinson has done nothing but earn my respect. He has played hard. He's a great teammate. I still think he would have been there in the third round, but I'm sure glad he's on our team and not someone else's team.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I said Spartan to Chris, I can't kind of figure out why they're clearing money now.
Mm-hmm.
They only cleared $3.3 million. It's not like they found $10 million. So now they're at this $18 million cap space. Like, it just leads you to believe something's happening. Because
I really do believe that. I mean, I would love to see if DraftKings like put odds on what the Giants do here, but I really do think that they're going to go for a secondary player.
All right. So then let me ask you this. So let's move into something that this is gonna cause a shitstorm.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, it's all good, man. So what's the thought? Again, this could be. I know for a fact that he, some people love him, some people don't. What's the thought on them signing Ryan Tannehill? There's a Tennessee connection there. With Bowen, he doesn't have a job. The guy can still throw the ball. He definitely is like hanging around, waiting for someone to give him a multi-year deal. It may never come. Like, either one of you think that Tannehill is potentially in play here, or am I just, making crap up?
Yeah, no, makes sense logically. But from what I heard about Ryan Tannehill coming out of his camp with his agents is that he's waiting for an opportunity with an injured starter where he walks in and gets the job kind of right away and not have to sit there and wait for someone to do a bad job and then wait his time. An opportunity that's presents itself right away.
Spartan?
Look, to be honest with you, I've never even run the thought of it before because I would have figured that there would be a cost prohibitor there. Now I know that they're still got Russell Wilson for next to nothing because Denver's still paying his contract. But what's the stipulation there? Because is that even is this legitimately even possible financially?
I'll look up over the cap and see what his deal is.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still getting paid by the Titans. Listen, if you're one of those quarterbacks that's kind of good but not like that good, I don't really pay attention to your whereabouts at all times.
I mean, look, Tannehill won some games at Tennessee.
He did. No, he did. Yeah, but it's been a few years.
We still have Daniel Jones.
You're right, Craig. I somehow forgot about this.
Honestly, I say this sincerely. Tannehill's better than Jones. He is better than Jones.
Well, listen. Why don't, instead of asking about this, let me just assume that they could financially do this. Yeah, I don't see why not. I think he's a better quarterback than Jones. Is he a long-term answer? No, but
no.
I think we're holding down the fort with a better passing game than what we have with Jones.
And you know what? This would be like after week 3 if Jones is absolutely terrible, and it's just not going to work. Maybe I could see a Tannehill being brought in. But
if we lose to the Vikings, I mean, he should be. Yeah, I mean, I think he should start.
Well, it depends how, right? Spartan. I mean, let's say he throws 3 touchdowns, passes 300 yards, actually has a good game, but the defense gives up 35 points. Maybe different story.
Chris,
but
I just saw this on Twitter today. I didn't realize this. Now, granted, he's had games where he's run and passed. Jones hasn't passed 3 touchdowns in a game in 5 years. That is wild to me. I didn't realize that was a circumstance.
Keep this in mind. I'm not defending him, but
no, that's cool.
Sometimes we have to live in reality. He didn't play 2 of those 5 years.
That's good. I mean, it's true. And it's not like the 3 years that he did play, he was playing with talent on a wide receiver.
That's why
it's still you still figured a blind squirrel could find a nut every now
and then the enigma with Jones is he comes out against the Cardinals in the second half and he throws a total of 4 or 5 touchdown passes and everybody's like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. But then you don't see it again.
Where was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just just please.
We've been riding the fence for 6 years. Hey, just to go with Cole is saying, we've seen it. And he's right. For 6 years, we've been back and forth on the fence. Suck. Terrible. Keep them.
Yeah, right. When you're on the fence for 6 years, it's kind of like, yeah, please beat Minnesota. They're
So
so
according,
Well, he plays well against them. We know that. So maybe, unlike Eli, right, who had a couple bad games.
Oh my
against
God,
Oh.
Eli never showed up against Minnesota.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the worst football game I'd ever seen in my life.
07. Craig, I got back to Pennsylvania before the
Was that
game was
too?
over.
Yeah, I
How
mean
many pick sixes were in that game?
that
Oh
dude
my
threw
God.
six. That guy threw 6 interceptions and 3 pick sixes. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening right in front of me.
And
Did
what's
I
funny
pay-
is
did I
in
pay for
interviews,
this?
Eli said he is mentally blocked out that game. He can't, like, he doesn't remember a single thing of that entire week.
Yeah.
And then he won
All
the
right.
Super Bowl.
So Tannehill, in 2020, he signed a 4-year deal worth $118 million.
God bless him.
His average salary. You ready for this? Oh my God. What the heck? I missed my calling. Actually, I'm not tall enough, but I mean, come on, dude. His
Ironically.
average salary is $29,500,000 a year.
Woo.
Signing bonus $20 million.
And that was back then, which is unbelievable.
And so right now in 2024, he is a free agent. Nobody owes him any money. So though I could be crazy, but I don't see this cat signing from league minimum. I'm just saying, like, the dude's making $30 million a year.
I can't wait to see the look on Drew Lock's face when he gets launched into a cannon. You know, I mean, Dable's going to pick if this is doable. I mean, they're going to be like, gee, who could we possibly cut? And they're going to ship him to the moon.
Dude, I told you guys did not listen to me. I told you Drew Lock sucked last month and the month before.
I said I agreed with you.
You guys were all like, give him a chance. I'm like, that sucks. All right. Let's keep moving. I have a game for you both.
All right.
All right. So I have 4 quarterbacks. Okay. I haven't decided if I'm going to tell you who the quarterbacks are yet. All right. Yeah. All right. Quarterback number 1 is Jones. Quarterback number 2 is Murray. Quarterback number 3 is Josh Allen. Quarterback number 4 is Lamar. Okay. Who out of those 4, start with you, Chris, out of those 4, Jones, Murray, Allen, Lamar, from 2019 to current day, because Lamar and Josh Allen were 2018, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt and I lopped off 1 year. Who has the most fumbles? Jones, Murray, Josh Allen, or Lamar? And don't look it up.
No, I won't. Most fumbles.
Most fumbles?
I want to. Yeah, go ahead. Good. That's right.
I guess Allen, because he started a majority of the time.
Okay, so his pick is Allen. What's your pick here, Chris?
For fumbles, just because he runs around a lot. I don't know. I'm going to say Murray.
All right. The answer is Josh Allen with 51 fumbles, followed by Jones, but only because of that year. Lamar has 53 fumbles lifetime, but I had to keep them all at the same amount of years. So Jones would be number 2 at 46. Lamar, Murray 42, Lamar 41. All in the same pretty much area. All right. Spartan, same game. Jones, Murray, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Who has the most interceptions?
It can't be Jones because it's never really been his problem. And he hasn't played as much as these guys. I'm going to actually guess that it's Lamar.
Chris?
I'm going to go to Allen because when Dable left, it seems like he's throwing a lot more interceptions.
Actually, I'm going to change my answer. Murray. I bet you Murray throws more picks.
All right. It's really good analysis from both of you guys. So the answer is Josh Allen. He has 66 interceptions, right? Now, here's the interesting thing. Lamar actually has 59, but remember, I had to lop off a year, so it brought him down to 42, right? Because he had a shit ton his rookie year for interceptions. So in order, it would go Josh Allen, 66, Murray, well, you were right there to start, right there at 46. Then it would go to Lamar at 42 and Jones at 40.
Mhm.
Interesting, right?
Very much. Yeah.
So what do you mean, Mark? What do you mean I'm doing too much? What did I do? he says I'm doing too much. He's playing a little game. He's playing a little game. All right. So let's talk about. I need to talk about the slide because that was a topic of conversation.
Oh
today.
yeah, that came up on Twitter. Sean got
Yeah.
after with man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was okay with it actually. One because he might not have gotten the first down if he didn't dive. But the other thing is this: I've seen plenty of quarterbacks over the last 2 decades slide and get their legs rolled to under. Like you slide and that leg tucks up underneath. Like he's definitely not going to allow that to happen. If he gets his leg caught underneath him while he slides, 1 foot out, Derek Jeter style, and then he rolls over the top of his knee, it could just
Especially
pop
on turf.
guy.
Especially on turf,
Yeah.
it's not safe.
The scary part is when they go head first is that the ball's live, right? If he fumbles, it's live. Once he goes into that slide, it's dead.
And by the way, Eli, the rare times that he would run, he did have a couple incidents. I don't know if you remember, but 2009 versus Carolina, last game at Giants Stadium. I mean, he had one there. He had a couple against the Eagles in his career. He would swan dive nose first, and then he fumbled the ball without anybody touching him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's a blood boiler.
You're
No
right.
doubt. So I was like, I was under the impression like, hey, he wasn't going to slide because he wanted that first down. But also, too, I'm sure he was a little bit hesitant. Like I said, you watch these guys slide. I've seen actually Rodgers does it a lot where he slides with the one leg way out in front of him and then he tucks the second leg. Like if you slide on that leg and it gets pinned underneath you can you imagine popping your knee because you slid? And everybody on Twitter would go off the rails and go, he's so stupid. Why did he slide?
And how about DeVito? He did slide. He got whacked by
quarterback.
And DeVito did slide. He got whacked by 3 defenders and no flag. You see DeVito. They were like 3 guys just pounded him while he went into the slide. Should have been a flag. I mean, that was maybe preseason. Very, very strange.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about this, Crypto. There were some doozies.
Oh yeah.
Listen, like we forget how many people hated on Eli for a lot of stuff, man. Like because Eli wasn't again like Jones is basically like this very similar style. I think New York needs a little bit of a gutsy kind of bravado QB so we can get out from underneath the calm, cool, and collected kind of guy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like they kept the demeanor in mind when they got Jones as Eli's replacement. But I have always stood on this ground that they actually don't have any really dynamics of their game that are similar. I actually don't think they're similar quarterbacks in any regards.
No,
Their tone.
I mean,
their tone's the most similar. Their personality.
Yeah, it's
just
the
right?
goofy smile they have, and that's really about it.
But I don't know. Jones is kind of a little sarcastic, a little funny sometimes when they interview him and stuff like that.
I think he's more confident than Eli. I actually think he's more confident.
Well,
he's making more money than Eli did. So
yeah,
I'd be pretty confident too.
I mean, like I said, I want the kid to do well. Whatever they do next year, they do next year.
Just have a good game against Minnesota. Like really, just have a good game.
Please pick that game.
Just have a good game.
That'd be great if we crushed them. Just 40-0. Just
275, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah. Neighbors is going to make Daniel Jones look pretty damn good.
Don't throw that shit in the flat anymore. That first throw.
I mean, Chris, you saw the comment. What did he say? Neighbors said to him right on a Hard Knocks, dude, just throw the ball at me anywhere around me. I'll adjust my body and go get it.
Yeah,
Neighbors is a dog. That's why we drafted him, and he's going to make this team better. Yeah. People don't realize, like, this is not defending Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is bad all by himself. Then throw in the 32nd ranked offensive line. No Gano to bail you out in the middle of the field. I mean, last year was pretty damn sorry, and the coach of the year still pulled out 6 wins. They didn't quit on him.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito came in and said, "Don't worry, guys.
Didn't look.
Let me ruin your draft.
Didn't look great.
It's all right. It's all right.
Greg,
yeah,
we got to talk about 2 players before we sign off. And Spartan, Singletary and Elijah Chapman.
Oh, well, we actually remember, Chris. I think it was me, Sean, and maybe it was Alex, or maybe I can't remember who was on 2 weeks ago.
Sean. Yeah, it was Sean.
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, undrafted free agent from SMU.
It was a mini camp tryout.
Like I literally have the notes here from last week because I wanted to bring it back up. Like I was watching the video with Coach was it Coach Patterson? I think it is. I'm looking for the notes. And he was like, "This guy is the strongest guy on our team."
That's right.
And I was like, "Wait, did he just say that the undrafted free agent is the strongest guy on the team?"
And he drew and he drew that hold, rushing the passer right off the bat on that first quarter.
Yeah, man. Like it's cool. It's fun, right? Good for him.
Will he be the defensive Victor Cruz that we're looking for? Right.
That's funny. That is funny, right? I mean, look, I'm excited for him. And then as everyone was going crazy, the cat, gets on his horse, runs down the sideline, perfect angle, like he was literally like you teach the little kids on how to take angles to the ball. The 280-pound dude takes a perfect angle, runs a guy out of bounds. I mean, that guy definitely won himself not only a spot, but like I think that's what the Giants need: some personalities and some guys that are gonna grind.
Yeah,
fun guy to watch. Spartan, I'll start with you. What's your thought on the running back room? What did you think of Singletary? I got in a disagreement / debate with an Eagles fan, and he was like, "Dude, you guys must be crying about your downgrade in your running back room." And of course, I went to bat for the Giants, regardless, because I was arguing with an Eagles fan. What's your thought on Singletary?
Yeah, first of all, I actually want to address that last part first. It's funny how many Eagles fans have come up to me like, "Oh, we got your running back," and I just hear like, I didn't want Saquon. I didn't want him back. I really don't know that many Giants fans except for some kids that are upset with this because we knew that the Giants would eventually have to transition to a pass-focused offense, and he was getting kind of old, and was going through injuries. It was just, I think it was a nice mutual departing. So I just want to get that out there, like Eagles fans. I'm not hurt by this. You can't joke with me on this. It's not, I don't care. Because I've always said this, Craig, and people say the running game doesn't matter anymore. I agree that a star-studded running back, you probably don't need it because all they're going to, in Saquon's case, he would have a few breakaway plays a year, but really other than that, I mean, there were a lot of pitter-pattern plays. He would lose yards easily. He couldn't do screen passes. Like, I'd rather have a more consistent and effective run game that's geared at trying to get like 4, 5, 6, 7 yards of play consistently than really having the breakaways. And what's impressed me about both Gray and Singletary is that they've kind of proven that they might be able to do that. That we're not going to have star running backs. That's fine. But we have guys that can, get the yardage needed and progress, the position on the field. So yeah, I'm excited with how they've played. I thought Singletary did good this past week and Gray the week before that. So I think our running game's looking okay. I'm not even complaining about it.
And like you said, the starter is Runyon, and he didn't even play. So you would hope that when Runyon is playing, that there's even more holes, right? And then of course, and Tracy's hurt too. Thanks, Sean, for reminding me. And Tracy's hurt too. So when Tracy comes back, it's going to be a nice room. I would just like to see Singletary break out. He just seems like the little brother all the time, right?
Yeah. Somebody go to DraftKings and figure out what the over-under is for his yards. It was actually pretty high. It was like 8-something, which is pretty impressive if he pulls that off.
Well, I'll tell you, Spartan, I think, and Craig, I think he's only one of 5 running backs the last 6 years or 5 years to rush for over 800 yards each season.
There you go.
Okay, but all right. So, dumb question is,
sure,
is that it? If the number one back that we have, let's say it's Tracy's dinged up. So let's say it's Singletary, Gray, and Tracy. Is that enough? Like, I mean, because if he's only going to rush for 800 yards, like, are we going to use him? We're not going to use him at the goal line.
He was part-time. He's been,
Yeah, they're gonna do a little bit of a shuffling around. I mean, he's going to be out there 70% of the time taking the snaps at least. But that's probably right around the target. And then Gray will get some reps. Tracy gets some reps.
Yeah, and I would look at touches more than anything, Craig. I wouldn't even look at just the attempts, but the actual touches in the passing game and the running game. How many touches?
Fair enough.
I get 20, 25 touches a game. I don't know. Maybe 15. Maybe 15 will be more like it. 15 to 20.
You think Singletary can get 15 touches a game?
15. I think when you factor in the passing game, I want to say he's got 15 touches. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so if he's at, let's just say for this,
Depending on the
conversation-
game too, right? Giants are in the lead. They're going to lean on the running game maybe a little more. So I think the game will, the flow of the game will dictate as well.
and he's got a fullback now, right? As we said earlier,
Interesting.
since they signed it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to see him break out, though. I would just like him, because again, he's always been the little brother, right?
Mhm,
So I like it to see Singletary break out and have a good year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and he also seems like a really good locker room guy. He's always got a smile on his face, like when you hear him talk about the Giants organization. So I'd really like to see.
Yeah, and he
him,
hits the hole, right? He doesn't dance around much. He hits the
No.
hole. He
No,
gets right to it.
He is all about that A and B gap and getting vertical up the
Mhm.
field.
Mhm.
There's no horizontal,
Which is great.
No dancing in the hole.
We saw the pile move a few times in the Texans game, getting that
Dude,
first down.
everybody, just for the record, everybody was a Mike Allstott fan. Let's not even pretend that that's not real, okay? The A train was a bad dude, okay?
Fullbacks were in then, for sure.
Yeah.
Fullbacks were in.
Everybody was a Mike
Everybody had a
Allstott
fullback.
fan.
Yep.
Singletary also seemed to stay healthy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
all
point,
about
Bill.
that, man.
Yep.
Chris,
plays
your
a
point
lot.
though, he runs downhill consistently, right? Like if it's 4th and 1 and he's out there, he will probably get that 1 yard that he needs because he buries himself in there. I don't think
Yeah.
I just Saquon wouldn't be that guy. He couldn't even do that for us.
Right. You'd expect it a little more.
Cold says he likes Warwick Dunn more too. Warwick Dunn was a badass too. Those two guys together were a great
Great guy too.
1-2
Warwick Dunn.
punch. Heck yeah, man.
Great guy,
And
personally. Great guy.
I was gonna say the story revolving Warwick
Yeah.
Dunn was always great.
Sure.
Building houses for people and just good people.
No doubt.
But yeah, listen, I thought overall, didn't show on the scoreboard, but there was some good things there. I mean, you probably all saw it on Twitter where second play of the game, Burns just totally smoked that guy, right? On that spin move to the outside.
Mhm.
I'm hoping for a good year. If you come out and you thump on Minnesota, that's going to set a really
Sets it
good
up.
tone.
Sets it up. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do some housekeeping. Guess what's going to be live tomorrow, Spartan Mike?
What's that, Craig?
Something near and dear to your heart.
Going live on fantasy?
Going live on fantasy
Right.
tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try to run a demo on it tonight, but I'm pretty sure anyone who's playing fantasy football with us, it's the Ballers League 2nd annual. So go to nygiantsrush.com, hit fantasy, log in, sign up. You can pay through PayPal or Venmo, and then it'll kick you a receipt with a link in it. When you get that link, that'll fire you over to Spartan Mike's league page where you can pop in your name. There is a
Craig, we're pretty much out of room. I'm not gonna lie. This is filled by a lot of popularity. We're almost set here for fantasy.
Wow.
okay. Then we'll
Yeah,
do
we're
two.
really at the brink here, guys. I will. We might have a spot or two left. I will reach out to you guys if anybody shows interest. We'd love to have you. But
Well,
we
listen,
filled up
the
pretty
guys. So Spartan, the guys that you have to pay or they can't hold the seat, right? So send them right now to the site to hold their seat, right? But here's the thing, Shawnee is willing to do a second league and have them play against him.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'll have a play against Shawnee B and play against Spartan Mike. And guess what? One of the grand prizes came in. You guys want to see it or should I hold it out?
I thought it was a surprise. No.
All right, we can leave it as a surprise, but it did come in. The one of the grand prizes came in, and it is badass.
Show me off camera.
Come on.
Wait, Chris, you want to see it?
I kind of do, but your call.
All right, let me say,
Oh,
Cole.
no, listen. Spartans League. I mean, no, don't show it. Spartan wants a surprise.
All right,
no.
all right. Spartan wants me to hold it.
I have
We'll
no
hold
say.
it. We'll
I
hold
have no authority over that.
All right, so if Spartan,
Appreciate it, guys. If we can save this till after the show, that'd be great.
all right. So if Spartans League is getting filled, remember if they haven't paid, it's just in theory. So first come, first serve. Get in there. Venmo, PayPal. You pay, it'll spit you out a link, brings you over your page. The best team name wins a prize pack. All right. So if you got a kick-ass team, I'll have the guys all Jay, by the way, I love you, Jay, but you're obsessed with Guy Wimper, by the way. You bring him up like once a week.
That's great.
Yeah. So go in there, register. If that fills up, we'll get Shawnee B's league going, and we'll have 2 leagues. All right. Spartan, can you make me a standby second league?
Yeah, I can do that. No problem.
Make me a standby second league with Shawnee as the host, right? So he can play against the peeps, right? And I'll put another 12 in there.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. So if you're a fantasy football player and you've already told Spartan Mike or someone on the Rush team that you want to play, get your butt over to nygiantsrush.com, hit fantasy and register, PayPal, Venmo, and then of course, it'll spit you out a link.
Yes, appreciate everybody that already paid. Thank you. I suppose I have to Venmo Craig at some point.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay. And we got the new, of course, as you guys know, all you nuts that are always here with us on Monday, we named all the apparel after you guys. If you don't have a shirt or a sweatshirt or something named after you, doesn't mean that you won't, right? Because there's a couple of you guys that are always hanging with us that we definitely need to grab some apparel for you.
Yes.
I think that's it. Got Sean coming into town for that Thursday night game. Chris and I will be in the parking lot cruising around, giving out. I just got a big wad stickers. I know he's obsessed with Guy Wimper.
There's probably one on eBay we could find for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually get look. Got a big wad of stickers. We're gonna be giving these guys out in the parking lot on game day. Stop by and have a beer with us. Make fun of Spartan for showing up to the show 45 minutes late.
Spartan, you getting up to a game? Spartan, you have a game possibly you might get to?
Yes, I'll be at an away game. I'll be at Giants-Browns on September 22nd. I will also be at Giants-Buccaneers the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Ooh, that's sweet right
Look
there.
forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys.
Awesome.
I guess lastly would be is again, YouTube channel. Subscribe, please. We always appreciate your patronage. And I think that's pretty much it on my agenda. You guys got anything else you guys want to throw out there to the folks? Because we're running late.
No, just Giants fans again when we'll play the Jets. And, we'll get a little bit more analysis and hopefully we get some more reps out of Jones.
Yep.
That's it. Analysis. Thank you, Spartan. That's why Spartan gets paid the big bucks. Rush
That's why I
hour.
get to keep the Venmo funds in my account, right, Craig?
No.
So
Rush
Craig,
hour.
can I throw something out there before you close it?
Yes.
Joint practice Wednesday, right? Big day because you're going to see ones against ones. We're going to see how Jones fares against this Rob Saleh defense with the Jets 1-1. He'll have the red jersey on. So, we're going to hear a lot. Well, he would have been sacked, but they'll let the play out. So we're going to hear a lot of that, I'm sure. But interesting at the preseason game Saturday, will the Giants play the ones, right? Will they let Jones and the offensive line play together in that preseason game as well? Or are they just going to sit everybody? So interesting, to see. Next
quick, Chris, do you want Jones to play? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Martin, do you want Jones to play? Yes or no?
As many reps as possible.
Well, you're being sarcastic, right? You don't want him to play the whole game, do you? Jones? Daniel Jones. You want Jones to play all 4 quarters?
Craig, if something unfortunate happens where he's no longer able to play after that game, I think the Giants just have to sign Ryan Tannehill.
There you go. Then you can sign Tannehill. you know what, Craig? As long as the first team offensive line is in, then you keep them in. Once you start pulling those guys, I don't want them there with backups. Then you pull them.
Spartans up in the rafters like this.
Oh, Jesus, Craig. Oh, no.
Sniper rifle. Wait, so there must be a joke built in here somewhere, which I didn't know. Says, so Authentic had a 5-hour stream this morning to complain about Daniel Jones. Is that what happened?
Wow.
Oh my God, that's painful.
He does have great video quality. I will give him that.
Heck yeah.
I mean, he made a whole documentary too. I haven't watched it, but I'm like, man, this guy puts in the work. I put in a poster here to cover up the fact that I am not, I don't have the cool setup like Authentic does, but
well, the guy has a studio for his work, so
yeah, I'm actually not even in my own apartment. I'm outside of Chicago right now because the DNC is going on. So,
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I'm in the burbs. It's pretty nice. Woke up and played a little golf today. It was great.
Oh, well, that's different. That's always nice. He didn't
that's-
complain
that's
about
pretty good.
him all 5 hours, about 3.5 hours. Thank you for that update, Colt. Cold, what'd you think about your sweatshirt? The real cold hoodies. Come on, man. They were pretty banging, right? I was for sure like they'd be flying off the shelf. The real cold hoodies and the Harnett hoodies. It's good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Did he say guys built like a Pez dispenser? Oh my god. All
The
right.
one-liners.
Yeah, exactly. We're ending the show now.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Thanks for you guys for hanging out. Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Pods, it'll all be up there. Hopefully my Super Bowl rings come in. I'm still waiting them. Chris, I'm assuming you didn't get yours or you would have called me right away. So I'm still waiting for my gift from the Giants, or Chris and I are waiting.
You're in
for our
Philly
gift.
country. You better hope you get them.
Dude, I'm
You might
wearing
get a
those.
box with a bunch of Pez dispensers.
No, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get my Super Bowl rings and I'm gonna wear them like on a big chain, like Fava Flav, and I'm gonna walk around South Philly with them on.
Can I say
Dude.
something real quick? I love that you made the Tudo thing, the white
you
beater.
said that. Perfect.
Yeah, man. It's called the Tudo Tuck Tank.
Perfect.
I love that.
Perfect.
That is hilarious.
Better get the rugby team on that. The whole team better be.
Oh,
on that.
Cold wants me to switch it up. Put a black sweatshirt on the model, Craig. All right, I'll do that for you, Cold. I thought you wanted the nice white one, the ice one, but you're going old. You're going old Wu-Tang 90s. I got you. It's fine.
I got a black one today. It's funny you mentioned. I got a black.
This
black
actually
shirt.
does look pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. The
Which
black
one?
one. Like,
Yeah.
well, I'm at a sweatshirt right now. When I make it black, Jesus, this logo's awesome.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 different versions of it. They're all pretty cool. I had a 5th version, but I didn't like the way it came out, so I kind of scrapped it. But either way, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Always, you guys are great, and you're on a roll, by the way, in the comments. I mean, you guys are great. Wait, put a
Yeah.
friend of mine. Massive salutes, John. If you slapped him, oh my God, you guys are out of control. Why do I have a female model? Wait,
Because you
have a
love ladies, bro.
The white hoodie is that's messed up, Cole. That's messed up.
So impressed. Why do we have to play that card? Do we have to, Cole?
I know. Come on now, Cole. Come on,
We
man. I
love
was
you.
I was icing you up.
Mark, yours is
Dude.
the most valuable. That's how we have to look at these things.
Craig's working on combinations at 3 a.m. You got to give him a pass.
Exactly, man. While everybody's asleep, that's it, man. But though Mark says he has a female, that's okay, man. We don't, it's a little bit for everybody. I'll change it. I don't know. I'll change
But
it.
I think the way you look at that is Mark is the best with the ladies, so he gets the
That's right.
the female model.
See, and by the way, somebody's apparel has to have a female in there somewhere, so the ladies buy them, or buy one for your your significant other. Look at that and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna put my lady in a nice crew."
Mark's comment just like, yeah, no.
Oh man, all right, B, we cool.
All right, that one's been cut.
Exactly. I will say this: has anybody seen Chris Peace? Peace usually hangs out with us, and we haven't seen Peace in weeks.
He's on Twitter. I mean, he's been around on Twitter.
No, I mean I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him on the show. I named the crew sweatshirts after him. So,
We're also
anyway.
using everybody's name and likeness in here without paying you guys.
Actually, no, Spartan.
It's like college basketball.
No, it's not like college basketball. First
Craig's
of all,
working on a
it's not
video
their-
game next.
Yeah, it's not their real name, it's not their image, and it's not their likeness. What are you talking about?
That's true.
Spartan's just trying to get me in trouble. You know what we do is
The
Spartan.
fans
What
of
we,
New York Giants Rush versus New York Giants Rush. This
yeah.
be an epic Supreme Court battle.
All right, gentlemen, you guys have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. Giants Jets on the way. Rush Hour will return and will become a preview show. So Giants Rush Monday with me and Shawnee, and potentially rotating Spartan and Alex. And then you got Truth, and you've got Chris, and you got Spartan doing, rotating, doing rush hour on Thursdays is what we're leaning on to do your preview show. So,
Yes, sir.
Rush Hour will be coming back. We just got to work out the kinks there. We have a little bit of a diva on the staff named Spartan Mike. We got to work around his schedule, because he's got manicures and pedicures and he's got to get his hair done and all that stuff. So once we work out the Spartan Mike's, diva schedule, we'll make sure we launch Rush Hour before the season starts. Thanks for naming the white hoodie. It's not. Cold's killing me. It's not the white hoodie, dude. It's just the picture. Like, it's the hoodie style. All I have to do is click a button and it changes it to whatever color I want. I just gave you the iced out look because the white one looked cool. Of course.
Now we need a PR representative.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Now
I know where my Venmo's going to go. God darn it.
Damn it. Exactly.
We got to do a new photo shoot tomorrow, Greg.
Exactly. And do the photo chat. I love you, Cold. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace, guys.